No, a pyramid is not a tomb. Now you could argue, well, hang on a minute, there's a sarcophagus in the king's chamber in the Great Pyramid, but that is not a sarcophagus. No bodies were ever found in any pyramids, ever, regardless of what people say. Watch my videos and you'll see. Now, this is a granite box, and I'm going to be telling you over the next few videos what this was made for. And I'm the only person that's ever come up with this, so if you ever hear it again, just remember Our True History is the place to go. Feel free to visit my website as well, ourtruehistory.co.uk. Now, these granite boxes sometimes have lids. The one in the Grand Gallery or King's Chamber doesn't have a lid, but this one does. Now, the granite boxes, as you can see here, absolutely weigh a ton, and they're absolutely huge, and some do have lids. Running out of time, keep watching for the answer. In Egypt, there's a place called Serapeum, and it's underground, deep underground. And inside it has these granite boxes with lids. And these weigh 80 tons and at least 20 tons for the lid. Now, if you believe mainstream, where they say these were built to put ball, an animal, a ball remains inside, then move along if you believe that. Now, this is what it looks like from a sort of that perspective, and I'll show you the map here. So these are where some of what people call sarcophaguses, I call them boxes. Now, I'm going to be telling you why they've buried these boxes underground, and no, it wasn't for the balls. And if you look here, you'll see another one kind of buried. So when you start researching these boxes, you find that they're generally in places that they want out of the way. Keep watching for more. Following on from the last two videos about what these granite boxes are actually for in antiquity times, just noticed here that there's a wooden floor of some description raised, and if you ever see that in Egypt or around ancient sites, generally it normally means that the powers that be are hiding stuff from us. So if you ever see a wooden platform somewhere, chances are underneath is something more important. So getting back to these granite boxes. Now, as you've probably worked out already, the one in the King's Chamber is also, surrounded by rock. Now, this is the most interesting part. Can granite shield from radiation? It is one of the best ways to shield from radiation, according to this. So now we're at the reason why these are absolutely buried. Keep watching for more. If you've watched my last three videos, you realise that I have concluded that the granite boxes in antiquity, such as this one and the one in the King's Chamber, can actually shield from radiation. So in other words, these aren't designed for a sarcophagus. These were designed to keep in radiation, which makes a lot of sense when you realise some of these are absolutely buried really deep, 60 foot underground. Now, when you go to look at the size of the Ark of the Covenant, which people say actually had radiation, and that's not me just saying that, here it's saying incense was used to protect the priests and people from radiation burn from the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant, actually, the size of it matches the size here inside. So in other words, the Ark of the Covenant was a power device. This would protect it from producing radiation. The Great Pyramid was built to produce a light beam that went up into space. Watch my previous videos and you'll see that no one's debunked me. Thousands of people watched it, because I point out the fact that this isn't the actual Great Pyramid, this is just a picture, but the Great Pyramid has a hole at the top where a shaft that's supposed to goes off to Orion doesn't actually ever penetrate the outside of the pyramid. So I don't know why people even thought that, but it actually turns up and goes upwards to the top, which is how the light beam, but it needed a power source. Obviously it's on the ley lines, and inside the King's Chamber is this granite box. Now this granite box, if you watch my previous 4 videos, you will know myself have concluded that these scientifically do stop radiation. So when you've got a power source inside, and according to ancient text it was a pulsating crystals, when you've got them inside, this will protect the outside from having radiation. So please watch my previous 4 videos about other granite boxes as well. Now the Ark of the Covenant, anyone will tell you that inside there was some type of power source that would produce radiation, because excuse me, the priests etc had to keep changing over because their eyes kept melting and basically had radiation poisoning. Now, the supposed location now of one of these Ark of the Covenants, there was more than one. Bearing in mind the Ark of the Covenant, actually the size of it fits perfectly into the granite box here. So even here it says that the priests that look after or monks that look after the Ark of the Covenant in this church chapel type thing, they have to keep swapping out every 5 years because basically they get radiation poisoning. So everything leads to the fact that these granite boxes were made by the Anunnaki to keep in radiation, and that is found out by our true history, which is me. No one else has thought of that.